Okay, Assalamu alaikum, everyone. Uh, Welcome to data mining. This is the third lecture in this course. So today we will continue our discussion on data understanding. So in the last lecture, we had started talking about structured data sets. And in particular, we talked about data sets that can be represented in a tabular format. And after that, we had started talking about attributes and their types. And then today we will continue this discussion and discuss uh, various attribute types, their properties, and then we'll talk about some stats that you can use to understand your data better. So these stats would be for single attributes as well as for multiple attributes. And along the way, we'll be showing you some basic visualizations by which you can understand those stats. So, so after the last lecture, I actually uploaded a file called Reading Links. So please go over that file and the links. Those are part of your reading. You can say reading to broaden your perspective of data mining. So I'll be updating that file with new links as we move along in the course. So please view that file frequently. All right. So any questions before I get started? Okay. Uh, so if there are no questions, we can then get started. So can you see my slide? Can you see my screen?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
All right. Okay. Okay. So I have listed some a data set that is relevant for students here at LUMS, you can assume. And I've listed some attributes, and we will be using these attributes as example in the stuff that we do today. So we have the name of the student, the age, the gender, the height, and then the term in which that person is enrolled, the course title, the course code, the grade, the aggregate score, and of course, the final score as well. So, so last time we also mentioned that the tabular format data can be represented as a data matrix. So you can call this D, and this matrix is n by m in dimensions. N number of rows, which means the uh, number of observations, and m is number of features. So sometimes we also represent each observation as a vector, and we represent that vector as x. So the ith vector would be represented as xi. So usually vectors are bolded. So so this would be a bold x, and I, of course, is the ith row in the data matrix or ith row in the table. So if we can represent individual attribute values by the x, I, j, for example. So this represents the ith observation, ith row, and the jth column or jth feature and the appropriate value for that. Okay. All right. So last time we started talking about attribute types, and we talked about nominal and we talked about ordinal. So both of these are discrete attributes, and they have some properties. Nominal attributes attributes do not have any order among the values, while ordinal attributes do have order. So in the example above, which attribute would be nominal, for example? So there is no perceived order in the values of that particular attribute.
Sir, gender.
So gender is an example of nominal. Okay. So what about name is also,
Name.
you can say,
Yes.
unordered, although you can order them alphabetically, but that is semantically irrelevant for most applications. So you can consider it as nominal. And if you talk about ordinal, the example that we have is grade. Okay. So grade is ordinal, and uh, okay. So moving on, numeric attributes are generally of two types. We know what is known as interval, scaled, and then ratio. So these are numeric.
Sir, will the height be ordinal or will it be nominal?
Which one?
Height.
Height is not discrete. Height is numeric or continuous. So it would
Right.
be either interval scaled or real scaled. So we'll mention ratio scaled. We'll mention this right now. So height is not uh, discrete.
All right, sir. Thank you.
Okay. So what is the difference between interval scaled and ratio scaled? One way of distinguishing between these two types is ratio attributes have an absolute zero, which means that the zero value of this attribute means absence of that particular concept or that particular semantics, absence or no presence of that particular semantics. So the examples here could be, for example, height. So height is numerical and it is ratios. It's ratio scale because when you say you have a height of 0, it means that there is no height. Okay? So whenever you can say something like this for any attribute, then that is ratio scaled. Okay? So we will talk about their properties a bit shortly. And then interval scaled basically are those numerical attributes for which there is no absolute zero. Do not have an absolute zero. So do we have an example for interval scaled in this data set? So first of all, what are the numeric attributes? So we have age, we have height, GPA, अच्छा GPA शायद मैंने लिखा नहीं था उसमें, GPA भी है, GPA then you
Aggregate
have various
score.
scores, aggregate score and
कोर्स
final
कोड
score.
Final score.
जी
सर कोर्स कोड भी तो इसी में ऐड हो सकते हैं ना?
कोर्स कोड जो है वो yeah, I mean, but again, so these are also some of the things that you need to be concerned with while doing data mining. For example, course code जो होता है 432 है, let's say सिर्फ लिखा हुआ. So this 432 has no semantics other than it being an ID. ठीक है ना? तो आपने semantics भी देखनी है हर एक attribute की. Don't just look at what has been stored there or what encoding has been used to save a value for that particular attribute. So let's say if in the course code you have a value of 432, this does not mean that this is a numeric attribute. It is still a discrete or categorical attribute. So these are some of the things that you need to think about before you actually go about processing a data set. Okay? So course code is not numeric. ठीक है? एक्चुअली मेरे ख्याल से इस डेटा सेट में कोई मैंने रेशियोस इंटरवल स्केल नहीं डाला हुआ. तो इंटरवल स्केल्ड में you can have for example, so temperature, this is a typical example that is given for interval scaled. So temperature in degrees Celsius, so this is interval scaled because a temperature of 0 degrees Celsius does not mean absence of energy or absence of temperature. So this is interval scaled, and in general, many many measurements. So many measurements are interval scaled, and usually not physical measurements, but other measurements like let's say behavioral measurements, yeah, aap keh le ratings, for example. So someone can say, for example, excellent, good, and average. And if you give them some numbers, of course, I have not given them numbers here, but if you give them numbers and you call them interval scale, so they might be considered as interval scale. For example, sometimes we do ratings between 0 and 7 or 1 and 10. So 1 to 10 आप numbers देते हैं for, let's say, ratings of products on that you see on the internet. ठीक है? So these can be considered interval scale. But what is, okay, both of them are numeric, but why do we make this distinction, ratio scaled and interval scaled? एक तो ये चीज, we want to make sure कि we don't apply the wrong stat as well as the wrong processing on these attributes. So for example, when we talk about interval scaled attributes, the differences between the values have meaning, but ratios do not typically have meaning. ठीक है? So you can say that, for example, if you talk about temperature in degrees Celsius, so 20 minus 10 is a 10-degree Celsius difference. So this has a significance. And similarly, let's say 10 minus 5 is a 5-degree difference, and a 5-degree difference is half of the 10-degree difference. But in general, when you say 20 divided by 10 is equal to 2, and let's say 10 divided by 5 is also is equal to 2, the ratios may be meaningless. So the ratio would only be meaningful for any attribute for which there is an absolute 0. ठीक है?
Excuse me, sir.
जी.
So if temperature is in Kelvin and then it has an absolute 0, is that still interval or ratio?
हाँ. So actually ये एक hierarchy बनती है. I did not mention that. Hierarchy basically ये है कि and the hierarchy actually goes from discrete as well. So the attributes that convey the least information is nominal. Then the attribute have convey more information is ordinal. Then the attribute that conveys even more information is interval scale, which is of course numeric, and then the ratio scale. So a ratio scaled attribute conveys or has the properties of interval scale as well. So Kelvin जो है उसमें भी differences make sense. Height for example जैसे कह रहे थे, height जो मैंने कहा था वो ratio scaled है. तो height में भी differences are comparable. So a height of 5 foot 8 inch, so 5.5 minus 5 is 0.5 with difference, as well as 5 foot and 4.5 is also 0.5 difference. ठीक है, तो that makes sense. Plus the ratios also make sense for ratio scaled attributes. But for interval scaled ratio typically do not make sense. And wherever we have a stat or some processing where ratios are involved, we need to be careful. You will get meaningless or misleading results. ठीक है? So the hierarchy is what is, so nominal is also, nominal does not have any, so let me move on to basic stats. So let's talk about basic stats. So we are trying to move through this relatively quickly because some of this stuff or most of this stuff you already know. We are just trying to refresh. So, and this whole chapter is about data understanding. We want to get a better idea of the data, and through the data, we want to get a better understanding of the business process from which this data was generated. Okay? So basic stats. So we would like to get some idea about the data through stats, and stats could be for one attribute or they could be for multiple attributes. So one attribute stat or multiple attribute stat. And when I talk about multiple, most popular of course are two attribute stats. Okay? And if we talk about one attribute stat, we have basically, we want to find out what is the central tendency of the data of the attribute and what is the dispersion tendency. Okay? And of course, extending this, you can get the complete distribution as well. Okay? Okay? So basic statistics are measures by which you can quantify some property of the data set. ठीक है. Okay, so let's start with categorical or discrete attributes. So obviously, discrete attributes do not have, so they don't have any order. For example, if you talk about nominal, so there is no order. Okay? And so how can you get a better idea of nominal attributes? You usually count number of distinct values. Okay? And if there are, for example, n observations, we say that among those n observations, what is the fraction of distinct values? So this gives you an idea of how repeated a particular value is. So fraction of unique values. So in the case of, let's say, so let's say gender की मैं बात करता हूँ, gender. ठीक है. So how many unique values does it have? Just two, male and female, right? So this is in M and F. So just two distinct values. So, and of course, let's say your data set has n is equal to, let's say 100 students hain, theek hai? So the fraction of distinct values, of course, is 2 over 100. theek hai? Fraction of unique values. So this basically shows that there are a lot of values that are repeated for gender among the data set, in the data set. theek hai? So to get a better idea of the distribution, you can always plot, you can say a bar chart, which you can also call a histogram if you want. ठीक है? So basically आप बता सकते हैं कि so bar chart M आप बता सकते हैं M कितने observations हैं और F की कितनी observations हैं. And you can also do this for ordinal attributes. For example, grade का attribute है, so आप देख सकते हैं A के कितनी counts हैं, B के कितने हैं, C के कितने हैं, D के कितने हैं, F के कितने हैं. So a histogram can be used to display the distribution of discrete attributes. ठीक है? Okay, one quick point here. So if you remember the data set जो मैंने पीछे बताया था, उसमें student name था, age था, height था, gender था, and then we moved on to उसके हर semester में हर course की information आ जाती है. So as a result, जो उसका gender है या उसका नाम है, it will appear multiple times in the data set. ठीक है ना? So in general, for most data mining tasks, we will have such kinds of denormalized data sets. अब normalization is a concept from databases. So जब हम databases में databases बनाते हैं, tables बनाते हैं, हम कोशिश करते हैं कि we have a relation or a table which has kind of related information together and in one place, and if there are some connections between tables, you link them through foreign keys. But जब आप data mining करते हैं, usually हम सारों को collapse कर देते हैं, denormalize कर देते हैं. And as a result, you get multiple occurrences of the same value in the data set. ठीक है? All right. So how can you find the central tendency of a okay. So normalization actually is a database terminology, and so the idea of normalization is we want to make sure the data remains consistent and we have as few redundancies in the data set as possible. So, but for data mining, we typically have to combine all the data sets into one table, all the tabular or relations into one table, and then do data mining on that table. So that kind of tabular representation where multiple tables or relations are combined is called denormalized. So for example, जो अभी हमने ऊपर मैंने जो आपको schema बताया है, उसमें for example, if you build a database, let's say you took CS 340, तो उसमें आपके पास एक student का table होगा, जिसमें student की information होगी. So उसमें एक probably आपके पास course का table होगा, जिसमें course की information होगी, ठीक है? And that's pretty much it मेरे ख्याल से. So course के table में you will have a foreign key that links to the student table telling us which course has been taken by which student. ठीक है? So further भी इसको normalize कर सकते हैं, maybe एक term का table भी हो सकता है. But for data mining, we usually combine these tables into one table and do the processing. Yes, there is repetition because, for example, if you talk about a particular student, let's say Atif, for example, so Atif data would be repeated multiple times. Atif ka, let's say, age 23 hai, uski height 5 foot 5.8 hai. So this will be repeated multiple times because आगे इसने बेशुमार courses लिए होंगे. तो CS 432 लिया है इसने. अगले line पे let's say इसने same thing comes here. तो CS 340 भी लिया हुआ है. आगे line फिर किया maybe CS इसने 200 भी लिया हुआ है and so on. So Atif information will be repeated. ठीक है. ठीक है. तो so all right, so let's move on. Okay, so we were talking about discrete attributes, nominal and ordinal. So you can get an idea of their distribution by plotting histograms or bar charts. And so how can you find their central tendency? Central tendency of, so, okay. So can you compute the mean of a discrete attribute?
No.
So you can't compute the mean of a discrete attribute. Can you compute the median of a discrete attribute, let's say nominal? So median requires sorting. So nominal attributes cannot be
Yes.
sorted. Ordinal attributes can be sorted. So you can find the median of ordinal, but you cannot find the mean of ordinal. So the only information that you can use for nominal is mode. What is mode?
Yes.
Mode is the value that is occurring most frequently. ठीक है? ठीक. ठीक है? So let's say if you talk about gender, so let's say if there are more females in the database, then F would be the mode. ठीक है? ठीक है? So mode can actually be computed for ordinal as well. So most frequent value can be done for ordinal as well. So again, there is a hierarchy. So mode के बाद फिर median के बाद mean. Mode can be computed for both ordinal as well as nominal. Median can only be computed for ordinal and of course for numeric attributes, and mean can only be computed for numeric attributes. ठीक है? So central tendency आपको mode से मिल जाएगी. ठीक है? और जो आपकी dispersion tendency है for nominal or ordinal attributes, more appropriate nominal, can be found from the histogram. उसकी distribution क्या है? ठीक है? So for example, let me try to use my pen. Okay, so let's say आपने grade का बनाना है histogram. तो basically you will have multiple bars. ये लिखा जा रहा है? So you will have a bar for B, for example, you will have a bar for, let's say, A. You will have
No,
a bar.
sir, we can't see.
सर नजर नहीं आ रहा.
ये
नजर नहीं आ रहा.
नहीं टाइप हो रहा. एक सेकंड. ओके. चले ये फिर पेन का सेटिंग शायद सही नहीं हुई हुई. इट विल बी डिफिकल्ट टू फिगर आउट की सेटिंग क्या थी अभी. लेट्स सी. ओके. So this is kind of a visualization of histogram. I'm not too sure ये nominal discrete attributes के लिए है या किसके लिए है. Histograms can also be created for continuous attributes after we have binned those attributes into some intervals. ठीक है. Okay, so for as I said, for nominal as well as ordinal, you can compute mode. For ordinal, you can also compute median. Median, of course, is a central value, and I hope all of you know what the median is. So you sort the data and जो middle value है वो आप median ले लेते. If there are two values and the attribute is numeric, you can take the average of the two. But if it is not numeric, for example, if it is discrete, तो average नहीं ले सकते. आप एक उसमें से कोई ले लें. ठीक है. Okay. All right. So now let's move on to numeric attributes. So numeric attributes में you can compute everything. You can compute mean, you can compute median, you can compute mode, right? Of course, mode might be difficult if it is purely continuous because you won't, and it won't make sense unless you do it in the form of a density. Okay? So usually mode doesn't make much sense practically for numeric attributes. So we are only limited to mean and median. Okay? So a couple of observations. Mean, of course, is average, which is, of course, not a weighted average. So you can also have weighted averages. But obviously, if you want to calculate weighted averages, you need to have a sound reasoning behind why you want to weight some values and not others. Okay? So generally, we won't have that detailed information of the data, so you just take the mean. Okay? So what is the general relationship between mean and median for a numeric attribute? If a attribute has a skewed distribution, which measure would be more representative of the central tendency, mean or the more median? So the median is generally considered more robust to outliers or to skew in the data. Okay? By the way, ये जो है ना, can you see my pen writing here?
No, sir.
No, sir.
ठीक है. So ये पेन की लगता है मेरी सेटिंग खराब हुई हुई है. So मैं won't be able to use my pen. So that is अच्छा, तो मेरा ड्रॉ का मैं सिलेक्ट नहीं हुआ। एनीवे आई थिंक वो फिर लंबा हो जाएगा, मेरे से नहीं हो सकेगा अभी, बाद में मैं देखूंगा। अच्छा ठीक है। अच्छा, so let's move on then. Okay, so how do you typically determine the dispersion tendency of a numeric attribute?
Standard deviation and variance.
जी, so standard deviation, and of course variance related to standard deviation and variance. So what is the relationship between standard deviation and variance?
Standard deviation squared is variance.
So it's the square root of variance, or variance is the square of standard deviation. Okay. So in general, we will prefer standard deviation, which we typically represent by sigma. Okay. So in general, we'll prefer standard deviation because the units of standard deviation are the same as the unit of the attribute. For example, आपकी height feet में है, तो standard deviation would also be in feet. So you can then compare or get an idea of the data in a better way. So let's say height की standard deviation मैंने निकाली, तो let's say मेरे पास 1.5 I feet I standard deviation. So what does this mean? This means that your data spread across the mean on average, of course, it's based on distributions. आपको distribution fixed होगी तो फिर आप more precisely कह सकते हैं. On average is 1.5 on this side and 1.5 on that side. Let's say the mean was 5 foot 5 inch. So the standard deviation tells us that you will have a fair amount of people lying between 4 and 6.5. 4 and 5.5, 6, 7 काफी बड़ा हो जाता है. ठीक है, तो standard deviation would give you an idea. Of course, if your distribution is well defined, for example, if you have a normal distribution, so normal distribution में of course standard deviation की जो range बनती है across the mean, you will have 68% of data lying in that interval. ठीक है, but obviously all observed values in your data set would not precisely follow a standard deviation curve. ठीक है, so I think standard deviation curve का उसमें यहाँ आपको मिल जाएगा. Okay. Okay. Okay, so this is the normal distribution and you have the properties also listed here. So if you have a normal distribution, that you have this bell-shaped type of distribution. So what does this mean? So if, for example, the central maximum value, so, so so basically you get the mean as well as from the mean, of course, coincides with the most commonly occurring value. Okay? And of course, this is a symmetric distribution. And then one standard deviation on this side, one standard deviation on that side. The total number of observations, one standard deviation on this side, one standard on that side, is 68%. And then, of course, 2 would take you up to 95% and so on. But this is only for the case where the distribution follows precisely this normal distribution. So in other words, this is a theoretical distribution. Your practical distribution might be different from this. Okay, so for numeric attributes, we also have some other ways of quantifying both the central as well as the dispersion tendency. One very common way of doing that is called the 5-number summary. Okay? So 5-number summary consists of 5 values. You have the min value, you have what is known as the first quartile, we'll mention this shortly. You have the median, which is also the second quartile. Then we have the third quartile, and then the max. So this is called the 5-number summary. Okay? And so let's talk about the quartiles. What are the quartiles? So quartiles basically. So I think all of you understand what are percentiles, right? So percentiles are basically computed over a percentage of 100. And so when you say that you have 25 percentile, so it means that 25% of the values lie below that particular value. So let's say मैं height की ही example लेता हूँ, height. So if I say the 25th percentile of height is, so 25th percentile is, let's say 5.2 feet, for example. Okay? So what does this mean? It means that 25% of the students' height lie below 5.2 feet. Okay? So quartile is basically dividing your entire distribution in four segments. Percentile, of course, divides into 100 segments. So this 25 percentile is also called the first quartile. Okay? So the first quartile is to the 25th percentile. The second quartile, Q2, is the 50th percentile, and Q3 is the 75th percentile. Okay? So Q2, I said, was also the median. Why was it the median? 50th percentile क्या चीज है?
मिड वैल्यू है.
मिड वैल्यू, बिकॉज मिड वैल्यू किस तरह है? आपने सॉर्ट किया डेटा को और उसमें 50, लेट्स से 100 आपके पास ऑब्जर्वेशंस थी, सॉर्ट कर दिया, 50 आपकी इस तरफ आई, 50 उस तरफ आई, जो मिडिल वाली जो वैल्यू है वो Q2 है, ये 50th percentile है. So that is by definition also the median. ठीक है? So Q1, Q2, Q3 are the quartiles of significance. And then we have min and max, and together all these 5 numbers make up the 5-number summary. Okay? So this 5-number summary captures both the central tendency as well as the dispersion tendency. Dispersion tendency किस तरह कैप्चर कर रही है? आपके पास min भी है, आपके पास max भी है, आपके पास Q3 भी है, आपके पास Q1 भी है. So it tells you how the data is spread as well. So in fact, the dispersion एक major जो use होता है वो IQR भी होता है, interquartile range. So interquartile range is Q3 minus Q1 or Q1 minus Q3 depending on how your data set is. ठीक है? So this is interquartile range. ठीक है? So this is an example of dispersion tendency. कि आपका डेटा सेट डिस्पर्स किस तरह हुआ है. Of course जो Q2 है वो सेंट्रल टेंडेंसी है, आपका मीडियन है. ठीक है. So I think so you can represent these 5 numbers in what is known as a box plot. So box plot मैं आपको दिखा देता हूँ. So you can see a box plots here. What is a box plot? So basically for each attribute you have a box. So box का जो upper value है, which is Q3, which is the 75th percentile value. The lower value है, it is Q1, which is the 25th percentile value, और बीच में एक line भी लगाई हुई है. So that is the 50th percentile value. And then you have whiskers, a line from the top and bottom part of the box to the min and max. And इसके अलावा कोई और भी आपके पास point है जो min max से भी ज़्यादा है. Maybe you have kind of chopped your data to min max और कोई outlier है तो वो भी आप dot से show कर सकते हैं. ठीक है. So if you have multiple attributes, सारे attributes के box plot side by side आप बना सकते हैं. So you can actually compare. कोई एक box plot let's say यूं है, ऊपर है और दूसरा नीचे है, तो you know that कि इसकी जो Q3 value ज़्यादा है, इसकी Q3 value कम है. ठीक है. So you can compare very easily by plotting them side by side. And of course, by the size of the box, you get an idea of the dispersion. If the box is very small, ठीक है, it means that उसकी all the values are concentrated near the mean or the median. If the box is large, then it means that dispersion is high. ठीक है, data is spread across the values. And by looking at actually where the mean is, you can actually find कि spread किस तरफ ज़्यादा है. Let's say ये mean की मैंने, by the way, can you see my hands?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. By the way, let's say this is the mean की line है. तो let's say ऊपर जो Q3 है वो इधर आ रहा है. There is a lot of gap between Q1 and Q3, while mean Q2 and Q3, while Q2 से Q1 बहुत थोड़ा gap है. So what does that mean? किधर data की density ज़्यादा है? Q1 और Q2 के दरमियान या Q2 और Q3 के दरमियान?
Q2 और Q3 के दरमियान.
Q2 and Q1.
Density मैं कह रहा था. So Q2 ये है और Q1 ये है. They are very close together. ठीक है. So it means that, so it is Q1 and Q2, because if they are close together, it means that के इन दोनों की values, let's say ये 30 value है और ये 20 value है. 30 और 20 में 25% of your data आ रहा है, while ये 30 और 60 में another 25% of the data आ रहा है. तो यहाँ इसका मतलब है कि density कम है, यहाँ density ज़्यादा है. So you can get this idea from a box plot as well. So any questions? All right. So you can also create histograms for numeric attributes as well, but then you will have to bin them. So define the binning can be done equal width or equidistance. We'll talk about this later on as well. and then for each bin, you count the number of observations that fall in that bin. Okay? So you can get a histogram. And in general, histogram captures the distribution in more detail as compared to a box plot. So box plot में सिर्फ 4 values थी, 5 values थी. एक min था, max था, median था, और Q2 और Q3 था, Q1 और Q3 था. But in a histogram, you get frequencies at different points, and you can of course increase the number of points at which you get frequencies. So in general, histogram is much more detailed, much more, you can say, refined distribution of the data. Okay, so histogram can provide more information. Okay, now you can also have quantile plots also. So we talked about quartiles. Okay. All right. Okay, so we talked about quartile and we talked about percentile. So what is quantile? Quantile, there is a slight difference actually in definition, but I would simply say that quantile is the general name that covers both percentile and quartile. ठीक है? Both आप statistically rigorous में जाएंगे तो थोड़ा बहुत वो difference आपको और मिलेगा. But I think for most purposes, you can think of quantile as the general name for percentile or quartile. Quartile, as I said, is they divide the data into 4 intervals, 4 segments. Percentile divided into 100 segments. So quantile can divide in any number of segments. And in general, we say that it divides it into the number of data points in your data set. ठीक है? So quantile फिर typically किससे हम निकालते हैं? Generally say fraction. So let's say if you have a data set and you have sorted it 2, 3, 4, 4, 6, and 8, let's say. So we have 6 observations. Okay. So you can compute the quantile at each observation. Okay, na? So what is the quantile for the value at 2? So what you have to convert them into ranks. What you give them a rank. So the value 2 is at rank 1. Okay. So we simply say the quartile, which you can say is F, is 1, and we divide, subtract 0.5 small value. You can कोई भी आप रख सकते हैं, but of course you have to be consistent, and divide by 6. So this will give you your quartile for this particular value at 2. So similarly, you can compute the quantile for the next value, which is, so 2 के लिए निकालेंगे, 2 के लिए निकालेंगे तो which is at rank 1, 3 के लिए निकालेंगे rank 2, 4 के लिए निकालेंगे, this 4 के लिए ये rank 3 होगा और इस 4 के लिए rank 4 होगा. So one thing is clear, quantile always increases. ठीक है? Because it's based on rank. Rank तो हमेशा increase होगा from 1 to the maximum number of observations. ठीक है? so quantile is always increasing. So अब इसको आप plot कर सकते हैं. On one axis you plot the values, which is in this case 2, 3, 4, 4, 6 and 8. On the other axis you plot the quantile that you have computed. And from this you actually get a distribution. So this is another way of computing or getting an idea of the distribution of the data set. Okay? So do you get this? So for example, let's say if you want to find the quantile for the value 6, वो किससे निकालेंगे? तो F2 के लिए निकाला हमने. F6 के लिए क्या होगा? उसका रैंक क्या है 6 का?
सर 5 माइनस 0.5 ओवर 6 कि उसकी रैंक 5 है तो
जी, तो रैंक क्या है वैल्यू 6 का?
5
है, ठीक है ना? तो 0.5 जनरली इस कह लें कि वो बाउंड्री एरर्स को एलिमिनेट करने के लिए डाला हुआ, पर वट एवर यू चूज यू डू इट कंसिस्टेंटली. कॉमनली ये 0.5 ही यूज करते हैं, डिवाइड बाय 6. So 0.75 इसका क्वांटाइल आ गया. So this is actually, if you multiply it with 100 you get a percentile. और of course क्वार्टाइल से कंपेयर करेंगे तो this is the third quartile. ठीक है. एंड ऑब्वियसली ये हम बहुत छोटा डेटा सेट ले रहे हैं, सिर्फ 6 ऑब्जर्वेशन है, तो 0.5 का आपको असर ज़्यादा नजर आएगा. बट इफ़ यू हैव हंड्रेड्स और इवन थाउजेंड्स और मिलियंस ऑफ ऑब्जर्वेशंस, तो 0.5 का तो असर आपका ख़त्म हो जाएगा. ठीक है. ऑलराइट. सो अब जैसे मैंने कहा इनको प्लॉट कर सकते हैं. So this is an example of a quantile plot, and you will see that dots have been plotted. So for each observation, you have its actual quantile value, and you have a dot there. So this graph is always monotonically increasing. And इस graph में x-axis पे quantile है. Can someone confirm that? कि y-axis पे है?
x-axis.
जी.
x-axis.
So x-axis पे quantile है, ठीक है ना? तो और y-axis पे जो actual value है जो आप करना चाह रहे हैं, तो quantile as I said would always increase from 0 to 1. ठीक है. और कोई भी आप ऑब्जर्वेशन उठाएंगे उसकी आपको क्वांटाइल आ जाएगी. ठीक है ना. क्वांटाइल ऑलवेज इंक्रीज विद रैंक. और वैल्यू जब आपके पास इसमें कर्व में कोई हॉरिजॉन्टल लाइन आ रही है या क्लोज टू हॉरिजॉन्टल लाइन आ रही है, इट मींस दैट के उस वैल्यू पे हमें उस देयर आर मल्टीपल ऑब्जर्वेशंस एट दैट वैल्यू और क्लोज टू दैट वैल्यू, मतलब वहाँ डेंसिटी ज़्यादा है. एंड इफ यू हैव ए मोर राइजिंग ट्रेंड, इसका मतलब वहाँ डेंसिटी कम है उस रेंज में. ठीक है. बिकॉज राइजिंग ट्रेंड का मतलब क्या है कि आपका क्वांटाइल बढ़ रहा है और नंबर्स बड़े बड़े जंप कर रहे हैं. ठीक है. सो देयर इज वेरी फ्यू ऑब्जर्वेशंस at the next rank when you move to the next rank when you move to the next rank. ठीक है. सो वर्टिकल की तरफ जा रहे हैं आप. ठीक है. ऑब्वियसली ये कंप्लीटली वर्टिकल नहीं होगा बिकॉज क्वांटाइल विल ऑलवेज इंक्रीज. थोड़ा सा स्लाइड पे जाएगा राइट पे. ठीक है. Okay, so coming back,
सर अगर दो नंबर्स हों तो फिर उनका किस तरह से रैंक निकलेगा इसमें? जैसे यहाँ पर अगर 4 का, दोनों 4 का रैंक सेम नहीं होगा, उसका किस तरह क्वार्टाइल निकालेंगे फिर इस तरीके से?
दो नंबर्स जैसे यहाँ भी जो
डुप्लीकेट
मैंने एग्जांपल बताई थी, there are two numbers at 4. ठीक है ना. तो पहले 4 का आपका क्वांटाइल डिफरेंट होगा, दूसरे का डिफरेंट होगा, बिकॉज पहले 4 का जो है वो रैंक थोड़ा है, दूसरे 4 का रैंक बढ़ गया.
चलें ठीक है.
ठीक है ना. बट जो वाई एक्सिस पे 4 दोनों 4 पे ही रहेगा, एक्स एक्सिस पे आपका एक क्वांटाइल आगे हो जाएगा, तो मतलब हॉरिजॉन्टल लाइन हो जाएगी उधर. ठीक है. तो इससे आपको डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन बड़ी अच्छी तरीके से पता चल जाती है. All right. So now let's talk about. So I talked about stats for one attribute, and we can also compare two attributes together. So you can say stats for two attributes. ठीक है. So two attributes में of course दोनों attributes के types को consider करना पड़ेगा आपको. So there could be all sorts of combinations. ठीक है. So at the higher level you can have one as discrete and the other is also discrete, or you have discrete and the other is numeric. Okay. So this is at the higher level, but if you go even deeper, then you have discrete में आपके पास nominal, ordinal हो सकता है, और numerical में आपके पास real valued and ratio scaled and interval scaled हो सकता है. ठीक है. So how can you find, and of course actually तीसरा भी है. So you can have numerical and then also numerical. ठीक है. So तीन important combination, discrete discrete, discrete numerical, और फिर numerical numerical. So what can you do to understand two attributes together? For example, हमारे पास let's say हमारे केस में था एक gender था for example, और दूसरा let's say मैं लेता हूँ grade for example. So gender is what? Discrete, and grade is also discrete, and gender is discrete nominal and grade is discrete ordinal. ठीक है. तो इसका आप किस तरह अंडरस्टैंड कर सकते हैं? तो यूजली इन दिस केस वी यूज सम मेजर्स. ये मेजर डिटेल में थोड़ा सा बाद में देखेंगे. तो कॉमन मेजर दैट इज यूज इज व्हाट इज कॉल्ड द काई स्क्वायर स्टैट. ठीक है. तो काई स्क्वायर हम कंप्यूट कर सकते हैं. So for discrete, we get an idea of their relationship by computing the chi-square. So when the chi-square is high, then we say that there is a lot of dependence between the two attributes. If the chi-square is low, there is less dependence between the two attributes. They are more independent. And of course, आप ज़्यादा stats के अंदर जाएं, degree of freedoms में देखें, there might be a threshold at which काई स्क्वायर बता देता है 95% कॉन्फिडेंस से आप कह सकते हैं कि ये इंडिपेंडेंट है. ठीक है. तो इन मोस्ट डेटा माइनिंग यूजली वहाँ तक आपको जाने की ज़रूरत नहीं होती. आपको एक आइडिया लेना होता है कि ये कितने डिपेंडेंट है या इंडिपेंडेंट है. ठीक है. सो काई स्क्वायर स्टैट्स कैन बी कंप्यूटेड. बाय द वे, ये जो स्टैट्स हैं, बॉक्स प्लॉट्स हैं, फॉर मोस्ट प्रोग्रामिंग लैंग्वेजेस आपको वेरी इजीली मिल जाते हैं. एंड if you talk about Python and Panda, वो automatically भी कई दफ़ा generate कर देता है. If you just load the data, ये सारे stats आपको निकाल के दिखा देगा. ठीक है? So, and of course visualization के लिए भी आपको tools मिल जाते हैं. Quick visualization आप कर सकते हैं. So what about numerical and numerical? ये भी आपको पता होगा. Numerical का आपने relationship देखना है तो क्या चीज़ use करते हैं आप? So let's say एक तरफ height है, दूसरी तरफ GPA है. Although height और GPA का कोई as such interesting relation तो नहीं है. So basically we use what is known as the correlation coefficient. ठीक है ना? तो correlation coefficient or Pearson correlation coefficient is actually very similar to जो आपका standard deviation computation का है. But of course you are using 2 attributes, not 1. So this is normalized between -1 and 1. So 1 होगा तो strong correlation positive side पे है, -1 होगा तो strong correlation negative side पे, 0 होगा तो it is 0 होगा तो it means that they are not correlated. So not correlation does not necessarily means independence. Of course, if it is independent, they will be not be correlated. But if they are uncorrelated, it does not necessarily mean independent. Independence is a stronger condition. Okay. So correlation actually tracks, and at least this Pearson correlation tracks the linear relationship between the 2 attributes. And what happens if you have a discrete on one side? Let's say, for example, आपके पास gender है और दूसरी तरफ let's say आपके पास है gender के बाद let's say final score. So gender is nominal, final score is ratio scaled, numerical. तो इन दोनों का relationship आप किस तरह निकालेंगे? तो इसमें actually कोई standard measure, common popular measure नहीं है. There are many measures. Rank correlation भी use कर सकते हैं, Pearson rank correlation. So by the way, ये जो correlations की मैं बात कर रहा हूँ या standard deviation के formulas जो stuff मैं discuss नहीं कर रहा, because obviously this is not something that you need to remember or memorize, or of course most लोगों को पता भी होगा क्या है ये formulas, deviation के, standard deviation के, and so on. So and most programming tools में आपको एक बटन से ये निकल आते हैं. But you at least you need to know the names, and you need to know where they can be applied, where they cannot be applied, their characteristics, and so on. So Pearson rank correlation. So another measure that is less popular, but I kind of like it, which I think I won't have time to discuss today. 9 हो गया, which is called AUC. AUC actually a measure from machine learning, area under the curve, the ROC curve. But you can compute AUC directly from data. You don't need to compute the ROC curve and so on. So, and this is a measure that kind of relates a discrete attribute to a continuous attribute. In other words, कि एक score classification में कितना help करता है आपको. So जो continuous attribute है वो score बन जाएगा, जो nominal attribute है वो आपका label होगा. ठीक है ना? तो वो score labels detect करने में कितना helpful है. तो AUC quantifies that. So we will discuss this actually very quickly next time कि इसको किस तरह compute करते हैं. And it will tell you the relationship between a nominal attribute and a numerical attribute. And then finally, very quickly, you can always create a scatter plot. ठीक है ना, 2 एट्रीब्यूट्स हैं, एक्स एक्सिस पे एक एट्रीब्यूट प्लॉट कर लें, दूसरे और वो सारे ऑब्जर्वेशंस आप प्लॉट कर लें, और स्कैटर प्लॉट से आपको आइडिया मिल जाएगा कि दोनों का ट्रेंड क्या है, ठीक है। एंड ऑफ कोर्स इफ बोथ ऑफ दीज एट्रीब्यूट्स आर न्यूमेरिक देन ऑब्वियसली स्कैटर प्लॉट मतलब उनमें रिलेशन पता चल जाएगा। इफ देयर इज अ ट्रेंड दैट गोज अप इट मींस दैट they are correlated. If there is all randomly distributed then there are no correlation. ठीक है, तो I think I will stop here. So next class में I think just a couple of things here we'll wrap up and then move on to chapter 3. So chapter 3 of your book on data mining concepts and techniques which is on data pre-processing. और ये chapter भी हम ज़रा quickly करेंगे because these chapters are very basic chapters. So any questions? अच्छा, नेक्स्ट क्लास हमने लास्ट टाइम डिसाइड किया था कि वी विल प्रॉब्ली डू इट ऑन फ्राइडे एट 5 PM, तो मैं उसकी पर ईमेल कर दूंगा इफ देयर आर नो फर्दर ऑब्जेक्शंस।
सर एक्सक्यूज मी,
जी,
सर मेरी एक क्लास होती है 5 बजे फ्राइडे।
5 बजे शुरू होती है, ख़त्म होती है, क्या होता है?
जी शुरू होती है।
अच्छा, फ्राइडे को?
जी सर।
अच्छा, हाँ ये तो फिर इशू रहेगा। अब क्लैशेस का इश्यूज जो है ना वो मेजर इश्यूज रहता है। सो व्हाट डू यू प्रपोज देन? सैटरडे को कर लें हम?
सर सैटरडे को
जी,
सर सैटरडे ठीक है।
अच्छा, सो यू आर फाइन विद सैटरडे? अच्छा, ठीक है, तो सैटरडे में फिर मुझे पे थोड़ा सा टाइम सोचना पड़ेगा। सैटरडे को फिर वी प्रॉब्ली हैव टू डू इट अर्लियर इन द डे, इज दैट फाइन? लेट्स से 11।
तो उसमें क्विज तो नहीं होगा?
नहीं, क्विज नहीं होगा। आई मीन मेकअप क्लास में फिर आई डोंट टिपिकली टेक ए क्विज। क्विज इंशाल्लाह मंडे को है आपका, मंडे को होगा फॉर श्योर इंशाल्लाह।
ओके सर।
सर आई एम रियली सॉरी, मैंने आई एम मिस्टेकन, मेरी क्लास नहीं है, आई एम सॉरी।
अच्छा
सॉरी सर।
अच्छा, ठीक है। सो आई थिंक लेट्स गो अहेड विद फ्राइडे 5 PM, और ऑब्वियसली आई एम रिकॉर्डिंग लेक्चर्स, तो जो नहीं अटेंड कर सकता तो दे कैन लुक अप द लेक्चर्स, ठीक है।
ओके सर।
ठीक है, तो मेरे ख्याल से दैट इज ऑल फ्रॉम माय साइड। इफ यू हैव एनी फर्दर क्वेश्चंस यू कैन आस्क। एनी क्वेश्चंस?
नो सर, थैंक यू।
चलें फिर, आई थिंक दैट्स ऑल फॉर टुडे, सो वी विल मीट अगेन इंशाल्लाह ऑन फ्राइडे।
अल्लाह हाफिज़ सर।
जी,
अल्लाह हाफिज़ सर।
अल्लाह हाफिज़।
अल्लाह हाफिज़।